Hello everybody and welcome back to Forever and Ever the Killie Fans Podcast, episode number 6 of season 4. Joined here in the luscious surroundings of Limelight Studios Irvine by my friend, colleague and fashion partner, once again, unplanned, back to black. It's no Amy Winehouse. It's Callum Michael Scott.
It's Callum Michael Scott indeed, aye.
Alright, man.
You couldn't write this again.
That's getting embarrassing now.
I was actually going to text you for a joke to say, right, what you wearing, so that I could wear the opposite or deliberately turn up with it, but I picked you up the night for a wee change and you didn't even notice, and I just went black tees. This time it is black. It was a navy one I had on the first week, just to be clear again. It
does have the Guinness symbol, just in case they want to sponsor us.
Yours is like one of the kind of Spice Boy t-shirts at the back.
I've got the big
Guinness
print.
Aye.
Spice Boy t-shirt, is that right?
Aye, I've got a few, but it's definitely been rejuvenated with the Spice Boy demographic.
Okay, right, I'm alright with that, mate. I'm alright with that. But anyway, how are you, man?
Good, man.
It's warm, innit?
As warm. I'm a lot cooler in here than I was earlier on, though.
I was actually
sweltering earlier and last night, I know, but I still actually slept alright.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
No, I can't really sleep when you're in your bed and you can't sleep. Like that one a few weeks ago, it was horrendous, man. But I actually slept alright, but woke up in a puddle of sweat, which isn't good.
Right, that's good. A good start to the show as ever. We get straight into it. Loads and loads to get through this evening, as you'd expect, everybody. Into the quarter-finals of the League Cup. We'll talk about the game against Dundee United yesterday. We've got their city neighbours coming to Rugby Park on Saturday. We'll preview that. Loads and loads happening across the club. We'll talk about that. We've got your questions on the X. All roads lead to Killie. Never got Alan's gripe of the week.
No, he's got it.
Oh, is it in?
Aye, he sent it yesterday.
Apologies.
Actually, met him outside the Grun as well, and he goes, I know I'm late, but I'll get it sent. I was like, hey, don't you worry, Alan, you've got to tomorrow night.
Right.
But it's there, it's in the DMs, man.
Is it? Sorry, I'll get to it.
In the DMs. Also something I need to make clear as well, for those watching on YouTube, even though it's me that's uploading and that, I've not been biased and just put myself as a thumbnail. You noticed that? For every single pod that we've done,
funny
it
that,
automatically generates it, and it's always a picture of me.
So it's no you that's selected that as the thumbnail?
It's no, I promise.
So it's AI that selected it?
That is.
So what does that tell you? Are you the bra one?
Well, they ken that you get all the credit for being the voice of the podcast, right. So evidently I'm now the face of it. Tough. Which maybe isn't a good thing. That's why the YouTube views haven't done this week.
It stings me. Right, before we get rocking and rolling, I want to say congratulations to my mate for work, Ross Dobson, who had a wee baby girl over the weekend.
Oh, congrats, man.
Another wee Killie fan, wee Gracie, so welcome to the world.
I had the pleasure of meeting them at the KillieCon for the first time.
Top guy, so well done, mate. Happy days. Right, so we'll just get cracking. Dundee United yesterday, Sunday afternoon, a nice 2-1 victory takes us through to the quarter-finals, and a winnable quarter-final. We came to our old friends St Mirren. What was your take on the game yesterday, man? Did you enjoy it? Obviously the result speaks for itself, tremendous, and just in general, pretty solid start we've made. I think we'll touch on that too, but let's talk about the game itself yesterday. What was your take on it?
I was pretty confident getting into it that we would progress, as we confirmed last week's episode, so delighted to obviously see that come to fruition and that we're in the next round with, as you said, a winnable tie at home to St Mirren. But I think that over the course of the game I actually missed the first goal, so I did say, was it in last week's pod as well or the week before,
that's a trademark.
Getting in late's my trademark, so I was getting up the stairs because they shut the turnstiles early for the Frank Beattie side, so I had to walk all the way down to the bottom, and then I better go to the toilet before I come up, and as I was coming out the toilet, you heard the cheer for the goal, man. But Dempster caught it at the top of the stairs, and so I was able to get a debrief, and a few folk obviously said to me, did you miss that? I goes, aye, but just part and parcel of it. Some finish though, obviously I haven't seen it back.
Tremendous finish, great pass, great finish, very good goal.
Tremendous ball for Brannan again, contributing every single week. But I think as everybody knows, if they was either there or watched it themselves, we fought out it a wee bit. United get themselves back in, probably deservedly so, but I think the second half that we really up it. I think that the big change though was Daniels coming off and Killie coming on. I just think that for me, Daniels obviously isn't a 10. He's a striker and he's trying to cover, you know, a kind of few positions there. Whereas Kiltie coming in and kind of slotting in right behind Dackers, I think worked a treat. And the ball was sticking. He was able to carry it, get us up the park a wee bit, and I thought he had a really good game, which was good because I know that I was not quite as, you know, fully praised with him at Hibs as the likes of yourself was, but of course he's somebody that I've tipped to be a player of the year. It's my understanding that I think that he has been nursing an injury, so hopefully that's him back now and starting to get a run of games, because I think that he could really flourish in this system that Kettlewell's playing. I think that showed.
Speaking of injuries, we heard the day that the prognosis isn't brilliant on Daniels. A break of some kind. He was certainly favouring his shoulder, I thought.
His shoulder,
before he went off, and we've heard today 6 to 8 weeks, which is a blow because he's definitely contributed really well over his first few weeks at the club. The only thing that might go in his favour, I think, for getting back a bit quicker is obviously he's been playing. He's not just half a pre-season. He's going to maybe find his rhythm a wee bit quicker. But I know an ideal situation when it certainly appears that that's the preferred strike force, Dackers and Daniels. So for him to come out of the team's a bit of a shame. I think we'll miss him already.
Aye, and it's the options as well, because you've obviously signed the likes of Daniels, Tiffany, who are all guys you'd imagine would be part of our kind of strongest 11, or if no there or thereabouts, and to lose both them, Matty Kennedy still to come back. It was good to see McGuinness come off the bench at the weekend though, but aye, it's obviously no ideal. You want everybody fully fit, but I think that there is options there. Maybe there will be a slight kind of system change, more naturally playing 2 10s as opposed to the 2 strikers, and the likes of maybe Watson a bit more advanced. Maybe we'll see the likes of maybe it will be Kiltie and Watson as a kind of 2 advanced midfielders, and Big Dackers, who will come on to, by the way, who deserves hunters and hunters of praise. But I think that we've got options there, but I think it will also free up bodies coming in. I think that will still probably a wee bit of business still to do.
I would think so. So, like you say, we've made a really good start to the game. It's a tremendous pass again for Brannan, who's just every single week contributing massively, as you've already touched on. Very confident big finish, I know. It's
a great finish.
Dackers, it's just like it shows a different side to his game. I think there's loads and loads to work with there. I know some folk aren't completely sold on him yet, but I think in terms of his movement, his effort, the way he can shield the ball, he's got a wee turn in him and all. I just think he's got quite a lot about him, and if he can add another 10, 11 goals this season like that, it's a tremendous return. And again, very, very young guy too. So I was really pleased with him. Thought it was an excellent goal, and that'll do his confidence a world of good.
Well, if it's double figures, we'll be delighted. I mean, the Killie View boys obviously gave the stats last year. Bruce Anderson was the first striker to hit double figures in the league, I think, since Paul Hefferlin's first, well, in their kind of debut season. So if Dackers can get to that, then we'll all be happy. We know that we're unlikely to get somebody that will come in and bag 15-20 goals, so if we can get him on double figures like that, would be incredible. But it's his all-round play, as you said. It's the wee touches he's got, the way he's able to hold off folk, some of his link-up play, like a few of the wee back heels, kind of dragging folk back into their own half, and then a wee back heel to let us go the other way. A few of them come off, and I think there's plenty there to be worked with. We know that it'll be frustrating though, so. And I think it's just one of them, you called it, it's kind of Colin Nish syndrome. Folk will probably never get over the fact of how tall he is, although I still think he won a few flick ons.
The one for Anderson right at the end is perfect flick on, isn't it?
And he looked a lot better, but I suppose when he's that height, folk just expect him to be this domineering in there, being able to bully folk and win everything, whereas that's not really his style. But I plenty to work with, and I was quite critical of him getting the number 9 jersey, but hopefully that'll pay dividends, or not.
I thought he did really well, and like you say, Dundee United come back into the game, probably nothing really in it. Then that kind of enforced change with Daniels going off, and then in the second half I thought you could tell they'd played like midweek and had the extra time. I just thought we just looked that wee bit fresher with the last 20 minutes to go. Brilliant finish with Brad Lyons, but again, as Flecky put on the group chat, it's a brilliant pick out for Mayo.
I'd be easy.
When you first seen it, it just looked like it was one of them, get it back across, but he really does pick him out and does really well to control the finish, and we've seen it out pretty comfortably too. Anybody else stand out for you other than Dackers yesterday?
Well, I don't know if that's a controversial one. Me and Dempster were both talking about this. We thought that Polworth was very good, but I see he was getting a bit of sticky off folk as well. I thought, particularly second half, before he, because I was shocked to get 10.5, to be honest. I thought a few of his passes were excellent. Like, played with real pace and purpose. Like one's right through the middle of the lines, splitting kind of in between the defence and midfield, and like he's one of the only players in the team that's capable of doing that. I was actually impressed with him and thinking he's getting a bit of consistency here now. That's kind of 3 games in a row that he's really been at it, and the player that we all know is there and showing it on a regular basis. Again, I know at times it was frustrating and maybe a bit too rash, but that's just the way he is. But I thought Watson, again, he was just busy and about everything. And I was pretty pleased with both their performances.
I think there was a wee bit of discourse online, I noticed, and nobody could quite agree. I actually didn't think Watson had a great first half. I thought he kept getting the ball away. But to me, that's what we spoke about it every week last year when he was out the team. He's just got to be in the team. He's so much physically, and he's just got that wee bit extra energy that we really lack sometimes, in particular last year. I think he's just a force in the team. Right. So, and I thought the second half he was very, very good. Really, really pleased, slightly surprised, as we discussed last week, that Brown kept his place, but again thought he was very good.
That was just despite me.
That was despite you. I think the Ket heard you talking. Goths are like that. Goths can be spiteful people.
All ears.
Oh,
is Dudge spiteful?
Dudge has a spiteful streak in him still, to this day. He was texting about Drago Lekovic after us. Patreon episode.
You got to bring that up this or
I'll talk a wee bit about that and all, so that's pretty special. But sorry, what were you going to say there?
No, I was going to say, especially with the content that you brought with you for show and tell, maybe adds up.
But I thought the defenders all did really well. I like Brandon, mate. I think he's a good player. I think he's like mega solid for what we're after.
So busy.
But that's what I mean, fit and involved, and he's one of the guys. He's a 7 out of 10, isn't he? He's just like, he's not doing anything spectacular, but you feel like with guys like that in the team, especially for the rebuild that we've had, such a sensible, solid signing, and he's the type of guy you can see. He's probably at the age he's at, he's maybe not necessarily going to go to a higher level, but you can see him maybe getting a new contract, maybe getting 5 or 6 really good years out of him. I know he's very early in his career, but I've been really, really pleased with him. I think he's fit straight in, man.
No, 100% agree. That's one of the things that stood out to me. I think that in the League Cup group stages, when we had a bit more of the ball, I thought his delivery wasn't all there, which is still cliche anyway. You're like, if he did have that, he wouldn't beat Killie. But the fact that he was always getting in behind, the way he's sometimes able to kind of carry the ball forward as well, just with his pace, but he gets stuck in all the time, looks solid, and he's just one of these guys I think will be so vital when you're playing Rangers, Celtic.
Aye, absolutely agree.
Hearts, Hibs away, all the rest of it, when you're maybe not got to have the ball and have it all your own way. Just somebody like that to obviously really stick in and give a bit of confidence to the rest of the boys, because he's played a lot of football at this level. We know he's kind of had these injury problems before, but I think that, well, the best way that you put it, man, it's just such a sensible signing. Aye,
no, really pleased. And that's us now, mate. We're into the quarterfinals. We spoke about that last week. What constitutes a cup run? I would say that is a cup run now, considering where you have to start. And listen, St Mirren will be quite happy with that draw, I know, I would imagine, considering the teams that are left. But you're going into that, and you've already got quite a big occasion to look forward to in September 20th, 21st. That weekend's not been announced exactly when yet. You're hoping for a big crowd, the opportunity to get to Hampden, and I think things like this, we sort of touched on this on the way down here. Kettlewell's obviously building his relationship with the support. There's an opportunity for a very quick win that then buys him time, because I think the shit will hit the fan at some point. We'll go on a run where we're no winning. It's I was happening, I was well. But if he can get us into that semi-final, that's credit, money in the bank quite quickly. So I already feel like that's something quite a big game to look forward to, and a brilliant opportunity to be getting to a semi-final.
No, well, if he delivers that, then he's exceeded about 80% of the managers that have predated him, to be fair, because McInnes was the only one that goes back to Hampden, you know what I mean? And he done that in his first full season when we get promoted, but we didn't get there again. So if Kettlewell's able to do that, it's a dangling carrot St Mirren at him. We all know that it is winnable, but St Mirren will be saying that as well. But when you consider all the teams that are left, you've avoided the Old Firm, you've avoided Hibs or whatever away again, in Aberdeen, who we've not got a great record against. So you've kind of got to be pleased with that. But as you said, I think there will be a big crowd, because I know maybe some folk were disappointed with the crowd at the weekend there. It's still just because it's that kind of early days. I recall when we obviously went to Fir Park last year, it's kind of similar atmosphere, and we take a no bad support considering. But because I actually thought United brought down a decent crowd, but I think that one for both teams, St Mirren will bring a cracking crowd down, because they'll be saying the exact same thing. They want to get back to Hampden or not, and you're hoping that's one that you're maybe getting 5,000 plus home fans. Well, you'd like to think at least that, considering we've just sold 5,000 season tickets.
Will that be on the telly?
It could.
They'll have 4 quarter-finals on the telly. No, that'll be the Scottish one. They put all 4, so probably 2 of them, and you would think we'll pick the Celtic Rangers games.
Aye.
So I wonder if that'll be 3 o'clock Saturday.
Well, that would be too good to be true.
Do you know what I mean?
I have a feeling now that, because I think they've got 3 games. I think they've always got 3 games, the Premier Sports Cup, and they usually kind of spread them over the kind of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Aye.
At times, or is that the Scottish? I'm not sure, but I think they could easily pick your one to be on the telly.
Do you think, what would you prefer to be 3 o'clock Saturday? Is that preferred?
Oh, of course, aye.
No 5:30 on a Saturday?
I don't mind that. I don't mind that, but I think that 3 o'clock on a Saturday, in order to maximise the crowd's the best.
Mm-hmm. Right, okay, but anyway, it's an excellent result on Sunday, and we're into the quarter-finals of the League Cup.
Aye.
Happy days.
Very happy days, to be honest.
So Dundee coming up this weekend. Dundee obviously kind of tipped by a lot of folk following the game to be maybe struggling this year, because they've had a wee bit of turmoil themselves. Elvis is in the building in his unusual manner and all that. So I think this is a pivotal game already, mate, because I think you win on
You win on
Saturday.
Right.
You win on Saturday. I think that becomes a good start.
No, it does.
Do you know what I mean?
To give the viewers and listeners an insight into a conversation the way up, know that I'm being too negative.
The Nicola Sturgeon one? No,
nah,
stick to Dundee.
That's for an Earth pod.
That's for another podcast.
That's for an Earth pod. But I'm obviously pleased with the start. I think that it's been decent enough, but I'm not buying that it's a fantastic or great start, because it was a decent wee run in the League Cup, but there was questions asked after the Celtic game, and rightly so. I know over the course it's 7 unbeaten, which isn't it to be getting sniffed at. That's good, but I'm getting myself wound up about something that never even happened. But I'm just like, I know what the reaction would have been had we went out yesterday. I mean, we could have easily went out. We won 2-1. We deserved it though. I'm no meaning to be negative, but United they're eachy peachy with us, man. Livy are eachy peachy with us. There's nothing between. So about 8 of the teams in the division, let's be honest. So had we went out yesterday, I just think that there would be a completely different narrative, as there would, because there should be a positive, mindset in that. The fact that we've progressed and we're into the quarter-finals. But I just had that no went our way yesterday, I could have easily seen folk being like, alright, so we threw away a 2-goal lead at Livy. I know we get back at Hibs, and now we've a real good test at home with Dundee United. We've maybe not lived up to that. So I'm just trying not to get too high, but not getting too low either, because it was the same after the Livy game. I was fine. I was disappointed with how we performed, but I wasn't panicking. I seen folk completely overreact to that, and I just think that it's important not to get too carried away the other way. I know, because it's thin margins either way. You know what I mean? Anything could happen. There's nothing between so many of these teams. But as you said, if we beat Dundee on Saturday, that then becomes a good start. And I think for their own, folk no kind of get carried away. But there's a lot more to be positive about, is what I would say. But that's no me being negative. It maybe sounds that way, but I just think that folk need to maybe temper some kind of expectations in that.
There you go. You heard it here first. Everybody calm down. You're not supposed to enjoy this football. You're turning into a curmudgeon.
No.
You wanted that boy at the team last week, and now you're telling everybody not to enjoy it. We're in the cup quarter-finals.
No, we are.
We're unbeaten in the league.
And I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that.
I think you're right. I said, and I stand by it, a solid start. I think
as a solid start.
Particularly with the amount of new players we've had coming in, a wee bit of turmoil at the club in the summer. I think it's a really solid start. But I do think if you can beat Dundee and beat them fairly comfortably, you're allowed to start saying, alright, maybe there's something brewing here slightly.
There will be, aye.
My own opinion, for what it's worth, is I still think we'll be hovering around 7th, 8th this season.
Which I would be pleased with, by the way.
With, and especially if you can get yourself to Hampden. I think it turns into a really good season. Again, just before we go into the questions, I've got a wee message for Scotty I want to read out to you. What do you think of the change in style of play? Are you seeing a big, huge change?
Aye, I think they were.
So
I think they were. How many times did we come on this the last couple of years and be like, when McInnes's plan A never worked, like, which we all know what we were good at, particularly at home, with Armstrong and Kennedy fully at it, we were a good enjoyed watching that kind of football. I know it wasn't for the footballing purists of the world, but I liked getting the ball out wide and swinging it into two physical strikers that they were good in the air, that go in the end of things, and things breaking to boys at the edge of the box and that. But I think that even the biggest positive that I've seen so far was 2-0 down to Hibs, and we still stuck with it. It would have been so easy then for them to no believe and kind of launch it. And again, I'm not going on like we're doing anything completely revolutionary, but you can actually see patterns of play, and that shows how much that we've not been able to enjoy anything like that for so long.
Because that's very fair.
So many times you're watching the McKenna side when it wasn't working, you're like, what are we actually trying to do here? No, Ken, what you were just hoping the opposition would make a mistake. It was all route one and trying your best to get on second balls. But I even said that, how many times for a team that's set up to win second balls, how many of them do we even win? We weren't even doing that, right? So I think that you're definitely seeing patterns of play, and I think a big key to that is big dackers, man.
I agree,
because he's your first passer all the time, and he's got it holding it up and laying it off. What about you?
I know. I think you can see a difference in style, and I'm already willing to put up with a wee bit more in terms of results, because you can see a wee change there. Like if you go in that wee bad run, as long as you can see that we're attempting, my aim take on it, and I might just be completely missing the signals here, is they look to me like they're quite enjoying it. Like the players think they're all buying in, and I think that you can see them all contributing. So I'm hoping it stays that way. But no, I've quite enjoyed what I've watched so far. And again, we're not quite Barcelona 2011 or anything like that, but you can definitely see there's less emphasis on get it into certain areas, get it up the park and play off, even wee bits in our own half, like just wee passes here and there, and just being more confident on the ball and trying to build things through the phases or whatever the part is. So I'm fairly pleased with how it's gone.
I think as well, because let's not kid ourselves, we've seen us go direct, but it's with purpose. You know what I mean? It's no a hit and hope and thinking, right, let's try and squeeze the space. It's like Brannon's ball in behind, it was a run for Dackers and a brilliant pick out, and then he's pinged the ball 50-60 yards over the top, and we score. So we're no kidding on that we're starting in the box all the time and playing our way right into the opposition's box, but there's so much more movement after the ball.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's
exactly it. And I'm more pleased with it, and 100% get leeway with that. If already, obviously, Brown's been playing, Brannon, Davy Watson's resurgent, and I think that with that, and we finish 8th, 9th, and a wee trip to Hampden in there, folk would have bit your hand off for that, when we could have easily been in a relegation battle, you know what I mean? But it's still very early days, and as I've said, there's nothing between so many of the sides. That's why I'm just not getting too carried away, but I'm happy with what I've seen, and there's definitely progress.
Excellent, mate. Very well put. Right, I'm going to read this message out for Scotty.
Scott who?
Stephen Scott.
Oh, aye.
Friend
aye,
at pod.
Of course.
He sent this last week, actually. Hi, Anibar. Hope I'm not too late for your recording. I was hoping you could read out a good luck message for EA Fit as we start our season in the Championship this Sunday with a home game against Coatbridge. Load of Killie fans in the team, and I think a few listen to the pod too. So they won the league last year, this team. They're based in Kilmarnock. East Ayrshire football fans in training, I believe the league is. A lot of Killie fans in the team listen to the pod. I'll link the Facebook page too, so you can plug that for me if you have the time. So there it is. It's the EA Fit Football Club. So we'll file that back out in the socials. But good luck to all the lads there. Hopefully they continue the success that they had last season.
Aye, well, they ran away with it last year.
They ran away. It was too easy for them.
Absolutely battling team. So hopefully we're challenging for them. But no, all the best to the lads, and I know a good few of them. So well done, boys.
Excellent. Right, we'll go over to the old X.
Yes.
And get the questions.
How many have we got this week?
Very, very, very busy. We have 39.
39.
My age. We've got the Super Clubs book here as well for you to have a wee look at. Hold it up to the camera, right? I don't know if anybody born in the 80s has this.
Oh, I thought it was a price tag in the top right corner, but wasn't I excited?
It just says 100% unofficial.
To see how much it would have been.
It was basically marketed as like a Killie book, right? But it's really only 3 or 4 pages on Killie, as you can see. And then it just turns into like a Scottish football book. But there's a wee quiz on it and stuff like that. About the season. The record transfer fee paid is still the same.
Aye, Paul Wright.
Do you know what the record transfer fee would have been received at this point?
Oh.
So this is at 1998-99.
Oh, I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Tommy Burns' managerial payout, to be honest.
It was
100k.
Sean McSkimming from Motherwell.
And how much?
300 grand.
300.
Oldest player, James Mitchell, aged 40, against Partick in 1919. Youngest player, Ronnie Hamilton.
Still holds that record.
Most capped player is Joe Niblo,
who we done that was a brilliant patron. It was one of the first patrons we done.
And then for some reason it says international captains, none. Maybe just leave it out. But Mark Roberts, Jerome Varai, Paul Wright, and it's got all the fixtures and all that.
So what year is it? Is it 98, 99?
98, 99, so the All Sports Division. So this was the season that we had the charge. But that just shows you what Fitba Media used to be like.
Aye.
Used to get books.
No look at us clowns, man.
No look at us clowns, exactly. And we're also 100% unofficial.
But do you remember, because stuff like that completely sums up the era, doesn't it? I mean, what is it used to get? And always at the wee red book and all that.
Wee red book, aye, that was class, man.
And that gave you all your information about everything. That gave you all the Scotland fixtures and stats and all that as well, didn't it?
But everything in it, mate, and it was class. Fanzines helped me make it through the night. Programme price $150. Richard Cairns is the editor. Biggest rivals, Ayr United. Right, you want to know the prices? Mm-hmm. So it tells you the prices for the stadium.
How much is a cup of water? Because that's one of the
things. Well, so it says best pub, Howard Arms, Glencairn Square. Popular choice with the fans, especially before the 1997 Cup final, where the landlord had it painted blue and white. So season ticket prices: adults £190, children £40 to £60, senior citizens £95 to £130. So walk-up prices back when you could buy cash: adults £12,
£12,
children £6, 15 versus Celtic and Rangers.
It's a reasonable increase.
So different days.
Aye, that's good, man. So that's part of the wee
Super
show and tell feature that we're going to be doing every week.
Let us know if you've got super clubs up the road. Right, I'll go out to the X. You ready?
Aye, go for it.
There's loads and loads of these, so we'll try and rush through them. Right, the Killie View podcast. Hello, gents. Only big teams make quarter-finals. Impressive second half. Dakar's showing some great potential, but Kettlewell deserves praise for changing the shape. And the subs in the second half that made an impact. Kilty looked sharp and Bruce looked lively. He was unlucky with that one. It was a good save, I thought.
He does be able to get the shot off. And even on target, because the way that, even though the run's great, but the way it's bouncing up, I'm like, this is so one that somebody could sky easily. But he does be able to get shot away, and it's a good save for the goal.
Keep up the good work. Thanks, mate. You too. After Sunfall, Stevie Robson, friend of the pod. Hope you guys are well. The new video pod on YouTube is fantastic. Thanks, man. With Paper Roses making it onto the jersey this year, are there any other songs that would suit the new Kettlewell era? Catch you both soon.
What, just in, well, we all know it's got to be like POD, Youth of the Nation. We already
Creed.
that one. Creed. Don't know, Puddle of Mud, man.
Puddle of Mud, aye. She hates me.
That's right. That's a PG version, isn't it?
Aye, because there's swearing in that.
Aye.
We'll think of that one, Stevie. Well, if anybody can come up with a song, it's Stevie, who is an exceptionally talented musician. The Killie Adventures, what a weekend. Securing quarter-final places. Sky proving she means business for the ladies' team. Hearts and Air out the cup, topped off with taps off weather. Life is good just now as a Killie fan, loving the new YouTube setup. Keep up the great work. So follow the Killie Adventures on the socials and stuff. They've got loads of stuff. Aye. So Hearts and Air both at the cup, which is nice, obviously, for us. And beautiful weather.
Just to quote David Hanna, it would have even been sweeter if Stuart Finlay had hit a penalty and missed. That would have made it a shame, wouldn't it? All the better. But unfortunately, we just had to deal with Dale's Hearts.
Aye.
There's a brilliant thing in the forums, just like somebody commenting on like Peanut, God rest him, and Alan Archibald in the background, because it just reminds me of my dad. He would call them a pair of something that I'm not going to say. Right. I would have said it in the pod, but for some reason I'm not saying it.
You don't want to say it on camera,
no? Just a pair of them sitting in the background again with their wee notepads. And,
the yes men. Oh well, too bad, man.
No, the yes please men.
The yes please men. Yes, can I have some more? And Sky proving she means, but so obviously there was all that carry on during last week with Sky that signed for the ladies team. I think it's been talked to death. I don't think there's any more we can add to it. Obviously, the losers in this world that want to go on like that on the internet, unfortunately, there's not much you can do about it. As I said, though, people that like that are losers, they know they're losers. They maybe just don't show it, but at night when they put their head in the pillow and they turn off their Tommy Robinson YouTube or whatever, and they'll know deep down that they're bams. So it's all right. And as for Sky, good for her. So about the fat bun, I think... best to put it to bed and let her play. Because obviously a football player, so let her do it.
Well, that was it, and apparently, obviously, she said herself that she would there talk in the park, and then pops up with a free kick, which was exceptional. So it's always written to be, and that's our day in that day. They're talking on the pitch.
Tremendous.
And hopefully can kick on and have a great career with the Killie ladies.
Yep, and we'll let her do her talking on the pitch, exactly. Right, so Al Snow's Synthetic Cranium gets in touch. Sent a very similar question last season, but now we've got a different squad, so it's time for a new faction. Make a 5-member wrestling faction out of the current Killie squad. Right, so number one's the head of the table, the one that gets the main title. Who's that?
Oh, don't know, man.
It's tough now, isn't it? Feels to me like it might be Brad Lyons.
Aye.
He's the kind of main man. He's come through.
Daniel Bryan.
Aye, right.
Aye.
So I would do that. The up and coming one that's most likely to turn face and challenge for the main title.
Well, we gave that to David Watson, didn't we, last year? But now
aye.
he's quite established. So, Ben Brannan.
Ben Brannan, perfect, mate. The brutal enforcer probably gets an intercontinental title run, but will eventually turn face too. What about Big Dackers?
I don't know. There's something. I think there's maybe one for him to come. I don't know.
Right.
But I've not even read the rest of it. But
No, there isn't, I don't think.
Just get to Dackers.
We'll get to Dackers. I think he can be the enforcer. A loyal jobber who never gets the limelight but would take about 12 stunners and distract the ref, all for the team to get the win.
Rory McKenzie.
Rory. And the manager or old club legend that doesn't wrestle but plays the wise man and does all the advocacy role. Who's the person now that does all that? Burkey?
Aye.
Chris Burke?
Aye, Burkey.
There we go. That was quick for
Aye.
us. Normally
Didn't
takes us about half an hour to come on. Like that.
Well, and especially with no Joe Wright to pick for.
Joe, we miss you, mate. Graham Johnson, hello Graham. The Brannan pass reminded me of Sod to Liam Miller.
Aye, that's a great observation.
Great observation. Have you ever discussed your favourite assists? We'd love to hear about a few of your favourites. Mine is the Eremenko pass versus Inverness Callie for Liam Kelly when Liam McLeod described his foot like a tin opener. Not on YouTube anymore. So
that was exceptional. And then Liam Kelly goes and dinks a goalie.
Aye.
It's a brilliant goal.
Brilliant.
That, when I was talking about playing from one box to the other, that was and that was
days.
actually under Kenny Shields as well. So that was when he was interim manager. It was actually just after Mixie left. If I'm right in saying it was actually Rory McKenzie's debut as well that day. So
well, there you go, fountain of knowledge.
There's some spitting
You've
facts.
been reading your super clubs. Right, favourite assists?
Sawed up at Ibrox. Obviously for the Burkey one, man.
was decent, wasn't it?
Aye. It's just a brilliant ball in right in
Aye.
front. But I don't know, I've been kind of caught off guard with that. Burkey, remember he gets 6 assists in one game against
Queen's
Park.
Park, that's right.
I
Harry
think
Bunn.
about 4 of them are corners. Aye, Harry Bunn, underrated.
I liked Greg Stewart against Hibs, is it? The one where he puts the guy in his arse
That's one of the best.
and
aye.
slides it back for Jones. And I think this makes
No,
no
wait, it's Smurn.
Is it St Mirren?
Aye.
And I love the Jones for Malumbu against Celtic.
Do you?
The wee cut in and the wee, I think it's a brilliant wee pass.
It just
Very
seemed to be
underrated.
one that I think that is underrated because I don't know where the pitch gets a bit of stick for that. Is
Aye,
if the
aye.
ball just like
Hodds up, right, or
aye,
something.
hodds up, which is kind of similar to the way the Brannan one does as well at the weekend. But aye, the Jones one for Malumbu's very, very good. There'll be others out there, and that's a good one
Aye.
to come back to.
Let it cook. The real Boydie gets in touch. Hi guys, I saw Kyle Lafferty at the Q8 last week and it reminded me of an unanswered question for the archives. Did we ever come up with a tag team finisher for the Good Friday agreement?
What the Good Friday agreement was,
That was our tag team.
aye, for Kyle Lafferty and Anthony Stokes or something
Aye,
like that.
to build the bridges. I think we have the finisher's called the Peace Wall.
The piece. What would it be?
I think we like
Like a joint clothesline or something?
I grab their feet, you grab their horns,
Right.
we flip them right up round and like
That's
tail them
it.
down.
The peace ball.
Aye.
That's a good
that
one.
alright?
Kyle Lafferty's my bad books, man.
Is it my bad books, eh?
Believe it or no, man.
Should be in all your bad books.
After all the things that he's done. I remember he basically patched me at Parliament. I said that.
Aye,
he was up with
that's
Johnson Borough with the Scottish Cup, and I was like, ended up getting down and I was just hovering about, and I was like, oh, maybe he'll want
Recognise me?
No, not recognise me, but welcome an approach for somebody that's no Ken, a suit and tie, man.
Right.
And I was like, alright, Kel, how's it? Congratulations. And he was like, oh, cheers. I goes, oh, I'm a big Killie fan. He goes, alright, cheers, and walked away. I was like,
Oh,
it's like, aye.
Still
And
a
then he
lovely man,
lost
isn't he?
his way getting out. And I think he was too embarrassed to come up and ask me, so he had to walk past me and ask somebody else, man.
That's instant karma.
At least that's what I'm telling myself.
Aye,
anyway.
instant karma,
He just
mate.
didn't want to engage with us again.
Stephen Hopes, I hope say boy. Not a question, guy, just an observation. Wasn't it great going to a game in the sun knowing that you could probably celebrate a goal as there was no VAR?
It's a great point as well.
Very good, mate.
The difference it makes. I mean, we know that we're never got to go back for it now, but it's good just knowing that when the ball hits the net and the ref gives a decision, you're just like.
That's it.
But having said that, if there's a blatant red card or a penalty, we're coming out and saying no, is that in me? That gets overlooked.
Captain Conker, the gorgeous squirrel. What a shift he put in yesterday in that heat.
I would dread to think. If I was waking up in a puddle of sweat, man, I'd dread to
He'll
think.
be
but
half the man he was when he went into that suit. Ideally, we'd want both. Can have both. But if only one was an option, would you rather lose to St Mirren in the league, but beat them at Hampden, or the other way around about?
Oh, 100%.
Losing the league, he's Hampden all day. And then another one, cash or card at the football?
Both.
We can have both.
Can have both.
We can have both. Lee McNaught, I was happy with the performance and a great win. We're going to make mistakes playing this way, but we'd rather have that and a bit of excitement than the drudgery we've had. What a great word. Midfielders must be delighted they're getting on the ball rather than chasing it in the air.
Well, that's what I think Polworth is really... What did you think about Polworth? Do you think he was bad or something?
No. I didn't. I thought everybody was decent. I wouldn't say he stood out to me as such, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
It was interesting. It was just because Dempster said like, to take it separate, but like there's folk like Kane and Polworth, but me and him were both like this one. Like he just looked so good on the ball again and was making the passes, particularly second half. But again, everyone's all about where you sit, man.
Aye, so true.
Completely different perspective.
So true, mate. Command match worn shirts. Potentially we have some superstars in the making with Watson, Brannan, Brown, Burke, etc. all developing well. Out of the young players, who do you think is most likely to make it big?
Well, the new, to be honest, I think it's going to be Brannan because he's the one that all the hype's on. Once maybe Davy Watson hopefully signs a new contract, then, because I know that he doesn't necessarily mean who we're selling for big, but that's what you would presume would be the next step. So if we get Davy Watson under contract and get him a move to Serie A or something, that would be great as well. But I would say Ben Brannan, you know. Aye,
Brannan is looking very, very, very tasty indeed. Mikey Kenmure, fun in the sun, cup win, 2 good goals, Lions man of the match for me. Not happy with the cashless kiosks, not fair on the kids or the oldies like me. Cash is king. Club needs a rethink on this. Big up Captain Conker for doing his duty in that heat. What's your vibe on the cash is king thing?
I think you should have the option for.
Can have both.
For both, you can have both.
Can he be going cashless at the FITBA?
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Come on. There's got to be a till with change in it at Rugby Park. There just has to be. I know it's about moving forward and it's modernity and technology and it's easier to. You've got to have. Wayne's got a £5 to go to the FITBA. They don't get a card to send to the FITBA. Come on, be sensible. It's not that difficult to run an operation with a wee float and some change in it.
Aye.
Ridiculous that you can't spend your cash.
Aye, well, if it's
at FITBA.
And it has been to the detriment of folk gone by a lot of the questions there. So, I think that you should have both. I think that probably cards should be encouraged, probably a faster process and all the rest of it, but nobody should be penalised for carrying cash.
Come on, man. We're not in a position to be turning any cash away. Ali Niven, friend at Pod, how much does the weather impact your reflection of a game? Winds in the sun and it's all the sweeter, defeats in the midwinter and it's as gloomy as the weather. And would you rather have a team of 11 towels or 11 foulers, steady Eddie mid-table finish, or a whirlwind fourth or potentially 12th? Would you think it's great? The FITBA in the sun's brilliant.
Well, I've always said that I think that we are pretty blessed that a lot of your big moments actually have came in the sun, but whether that is what Ali's saying and it's kind of obviously blinding you almost and putting a different perspective on things just because of how good a day it was. But I think that a lot of your big moments have been under the sun. Aye, like Falkirk playoff, Scottish Cup, Falkirk again.
It's great
Rangers,
going to the
Europe.
FITBA in your t-shirt. But to me, Rugby Park will always be the floodlights on a Saturday.
Aye.
That's the magic, I think. See when you get into November the grass park will be back and you got the tune for a pint after the game. That's brilliant. That's what it's about. FITBA's a winter sport to me, not a summer sport.
Aye.
Cricket's a summer sport. I play cricket in the summer. I don't like cricket, I love it. Would you rather have a team of 11 towels or 11 foulers towel all day?
Aye, tell you why. Just saying that to wind up.
Just saying, Ali. Alan Agnew, I've sent my gripe. Sorry, mate, I've never seen that, but we'll get round to the gripe. Alexander Marche gets in touch and says, for our players, especially our young ones, should we insert clauses into their contracts? Might be a way of keeping them longer. If you say someone comes in with a £3 million offer, you can go. Something like they do in a lot of places like Holland and Italy. Might not be so practical in Scotland, but what are your thoughts? So like basically a release clause type thing?
I think that it should hopefully be appealing to both player and club that in it. So the main thing for me is that we just start protecting assets and making sure that folk are under contract will do me for the foreseeable.
Fair point, man. Alistair McGee, love listening to the pod from the States. Glad to hear it.
Legend, mate. Cheers.
Thank you, Alistair. I think Brown has proven that he should be in the starting 11 for the next week, especially with D's looking a touch off the pace. Who do you think our back three will be for the next game? So we've obviously signed this guy, Zach Williams, who, by the way, has played loads and loads of football. Very highly rated guy. More than 100 games at 21 or 22 for Crew.
Captained them and all that.
Seems like a really quite a decent signing. So doesn't seem the type that's going to come in no to play. I do wonder if it's Dees that's going to end up the fall guy here, and our song's never going to take off.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Don't kill the dream, man.
No,
before it started. Aye, but
so what's your thoughts on that?
I think that Kettlewell made Dees vice captain, so he obviously sees him as one of his main guys. Well, as far as I'm concerned with that, I think it was Baz that actually put in the forums as well. It's, for me, Robbie Dees' best position is the middle of the three.
Centre of the three, aye.
So whether that would maybe be the case that you're maybe looking at Mayo, Dees and Williams as your back three, and giving you good options with both Stanger and obviously Brown to come in. But I thought Stanger would have been back in at the weekend. I've really liked the look of him so far.
Aye. Well, it's nice to have options, mate, because we were pretty thin in that area. Thomas Wilson, do you think of being probably, as some others, optometrist of the season? Oh, I think as optimist, and thinking top six is a real target. So Thomas thinks top six is a target. Is that too optimistic?
Again, I wouldn't say it's too optimistic at all, but I just think that there's another 5 or 6 teams that will be their objective. So I think you can genuinely write off the top 4 or 5 positions already, which leaves kind of one up for grabs. And let's be honest, folk won't know that here, and we're just talking about drawing them in the cup. But for me, St Mirren have got to be the favourites for that. They've earned it. They've been the ones that have been consistent and in there the last 3 years. So, and they know what needs done to get there. But it shouldn't no be a target. But to go back to what you said earlier, if we are languishing around about 7th or 8th, that'll do me. By the way, I think that'll be a really a good position to build on with a new style of football and young players. Plenty of minutes under the belt for them, so I would be pleased with that. If we can get top 6, it'd be incredible, but I'll be happy with staying safe with a good few games to go.
Fair enough, mate. Samuel gets in touch. How good is it to see Hearts fans already turning against Delball on the back of a card only at the on the back of card only at the pie stall? Can Waynes be trusted with your bank card when they're nipping your head for a pie and drink 10 minutes into the match? Can your children be trusted with your bank card? It's a good question.
Well, you're the father of the two.
I've got to. One of mine could be trusted.
That's Taylor, obviously. You can't trust Faith with the bank.
No, Faith would go mad. But no, Samuels have just said you can't be getting your way in the bank. With the loss it, and the absolute bollock that causes you, nothing worse than losing your bank card.
Apple Pay.
Oh, don't start, man. Honestly, man,
You're just Apple Pay only.
Go on, me a spice boy.
Apple Pay only.
Apple Pay only at the pie stall. Just transfer me, mate. Aye, and nice. Just get this. I've seen Hearts fans already questioning McInnes.
Aye, talking about the system and that. I'm like, oh, it's so good, isn't it? No, but we were gutted to lose him, man. We were gutted to lose him.
I'm not saying any more about it.
Dale deserved a big club and he's got one.
I'm not saying any more about it. Tommy Calderwood, wee Watson was unreal on Sunday. Was everywhere. Jamie Brandon outstanding too. Can see how well he worked under Martindale. Goes full pelt every game. Think Big Dackers will be a player in time. Would have bitten your hand off for a quarter final at home to St Mirren.
100%, mate.
Spot on, Tommy. Scott English, very good win. Keeps a decent start to the season. Motoring. Some of the Dackers' touches were a bit ropey, but there's potential there, I think. Very good finish after a brilliant Brannan pass. Can someone tell me who Hearts got in the quarterfinals?
Answers in a postcard, please.
Answers in a postcard, mate. I just can't think who that would be. Mark Robertson, number of positives this season so far, but as SK has stated, still things that need improving. But on the back of 5,000 season ticket sales, do we hope there is an ever increasing home attendance to back this promising new team? So 5,000 season tickets is excellent for Kilmarnock as far as I'm concerned, and we can even go back into the famous super clubs. There's a core support. It's not going to change.
Aye.
It's just not going to change. It never changed when we won the league. It changed very briefly in an probably economics boom and all in the kind of late 90s when there was that bit more money floating about and life was just slightly different. We'd made high profile signings, but we were on the back of winning the Scottish Cup. We went up for 2 or 3 seasons, but quite quickly, mate, 2002-03 we were back down. That's what it is. It's going to be. There's going to be 5,000 or 6,000 Killie fans. And then in a big occasion, you'll maybe put 10 or 12. But that's it. That's where we're at, and that's where we'll be. We just need to accept that.
I think that's fair. I think that our kind of range, it shouldn't be less than 4. And your kind of, obviously, median is about 5. But if you can ever get to that stage where we're getting regular 6,000 home fans is incredible. Because then you're talking about 7,000 crowds, which is really, really good inside Rugby Park if you're talking half decent away support. But the fact of the matter is, getting 5,000 now is welcome, because I thought there'd be and I know that we're still short on last year, but you're European football in that last year, you know what I mean? So you're only a couple of hundred away for that. And the fact of the matter is, there's something to build on here, and hopefully we can. But put it this way, if Kettlewell gets us to Hampden or a cup final, you'll see more fans. And I'll not be one sitting slagging folk, by the way, either, saying, oh, why are these folk not here every week? That's the fact of the matter. But you've got to appeal to more folk and a thing like that, and it becomes more family friendly. For example, if we get a cup final like Alison would come. Alison doesn't go to the Killie games every week. I presume Mel would want to go as well. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of folk that you're attracting into.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. So
nothing wrong with it.
Here's me again winding myself up about something that's not even got to happen.
Folk are getting annoyed because there's folk wanting tickets for this cup final that only one. Right, Jamie Coops gets in touch. I think the game was a bit tetchy at times, which was down to the heat probably, but the game management seemed a lot better from the manager and the players on the pitch. Daniel,
by the way, the game management very good. And believe it or not, the one positive that I had to say about Kettlewell before he got the Kilmarnock job, because it was well documented what my thoughts were, I thought that his in-game management in Motherwell was very good, and the best example of that
must have been good for you to say that.
I know it did, but because I think Flecky could even be my witness here, because remember that game in January where we absolutely battered them.
Oh, the 0-0. Aye, they did really well, didn't they?
Particularly first half. And the fact that we didn't score, obviously Lions is a toe offside. And when we went into half time, I goes, that's kind of worried me a wee bit, because I'm like, one thing that he has got at, he being Stuart Kettlewell at that point,
is skateboarding.
Skateboarding is being able to kind of tweak things, and because the amount of times that first half we get the ball in behind their back line, that just stopped second half. We're still the better team second half, but it seemed like every time we went out the park we had an overload. Lions was away, ball over the top, happened time and time again, but he was able to sort that. So one thing I will give him at that time is his in-game management good. So and I think that's been shown so far. Good.
Alright, Galak gets in touch. Galak, delighted to get through with a real shot at Hampden. Question is, with the upcoming Battle of the Bastards versus Dundee, between the managers that no fans wanted, if Kettlewell wins, does he become King Bastard? And do we adopt him of his own? He's grown on me little by little.
Jon Snow, mate.
Jon Snow. Yeah. Battle of the Bastards.
Except Presley's too nice to be Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Even as a player, he was a big.
Who would you say he's like in Game of Thrones?
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean, yeah, he's the same hair.
It will be. But any other shouts?
Peter Baelish.
Similar.
No, that's me like McInnes, isn't it? He climbs he's trying to climb the ladder.
Loves himself, man.
Chaos is a ladder. Right, that's a great question. Graham Orr, when our women's team play at their games at the training centre, is it purely accessible by car, or will there be a bus stop nearby? It's a very good question, mate.
I'm sure there's a bus stop at the bottom of London Road before you get into, and there's even one right at the beginning of Cricket Home before you get in. So I would say that's a fair distance.
Aye, fair enough. There you go. I couldn't tell you, mate, but that's a fine question. I'm sure all that stuff will become apparent in time.
But it's a good thing to highlight, to be fair.
Absolutely.
It's what it's thinking, so it's one to map it.
Smudger, Jerry Smith, good old pal of mine, gets in touch. Afternoon troops, great win in the sun, but how bad was the atmosphere on the ground? It was so flat, and you have to question were even winning the game. Have the 1869 young team chucked it after the McInnes banner last season? So what's your thoughts on that?
I kind of touched on that the folk are maybe a bit disappointed with the crowd in general, like numbers, but sometimes it's just like that, man. And I just think that
Sunday games don't help, I don't think.
Sunday games kill it. We saw that last year with the European ones. And even with that, I think it's a different feel if it's even like the Scottish Cup and you know you're going into Scottish Cup quarterfinals. Bear in mind, this is like the first knockout game that we've had in the League Cup. So to some folk, it still feels early doors. But the fact of the matter, he's right, Ken, you're going into a quarterfinal. But I think there'll be a completely different atmosphere come that the St Mirren game, because I even go back to when Hearts put us at the quarter-final stage, remember? Saved Naismith's job.
Oh, of course, aye.
There was a good atmosphere that night in the ground. Both sets of fans were good. So I think that things will be different. It still feels quite early doors in the Cup.
Aye. Gunnar Vance, Kilmarnock's most handsome man. Alright lads, starting to dream of a wee trip to Hampden. What made you chuckle more at the weekend? Hearts or you're getting knocked at the Cup?
Hearts every day, man.
Great, mate. So bad about it. Kevin, KTID, can any of you guys remember the last time we went 7 unbeaten in competitive matches? I don't know.
Must be under that, okay, no?
I reckon we didn't, even under our previous manager. Clark must have went 7 unbeaten, eh?
You would like to think so.
Aye, must
he
have
went 1.7 without a win as well, wasn't it?
Aye, that's
I think
true.
that was a magic number when we went through that poor spell, which you spoke about earlier as well, saying that everybody goes through a poor spell, even Steve Clark done it. But I would like to think it's, who knows, maybe we didn't.
Aye.
And again, I know the League Cup kind of inflates that a wee bit, but still competitive games.
Can only beat what's in front of you. Greg Halbert gets in touch. Hello lads, I'm glad we didn't acquiesce to United yesterday. Felt a real morning glory today after that win. Some might say if we bring it on down to the key guys, Lyons and Brannan were supersonic. Right, enough of this nonsense. I'm looking forward to hearing you talk tonight.
That's very good, isn't it?
That's pretty
that deserves a lot of credit.
That's pretty good.
How good was Oasis, by the way?
Oasis was a special event.
It was even better because we didn't see each other.
Aye, and that was that doubled it, and that went for a 10 to 11 out of 10 for me. That was a very clever message for Greg there.
Aye, that was top class.
Very, very nice indeed. Callum McGee gets in touch. Watkins seems to be considered surplus to requirements. He and McCrory on the way out, probably. I agree, mate. Our squad's age is down, and with only Watkins, Kennedy, Rory and Polworth over 30, and only Polworth playing regularly, I'll be lacking a bit of experience across the team.
Well, it's funny because you made the point about needing a kind of centre half with that level of experience, i.e. Alex Bruce, somebody of that ilk, but we seem pretty covered at the back. I still think we maybe need another centre back though, right enough, just in case. But I can see where Callum's coming from. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy to see a bit of freshness with that, and sellable assets in the team as well, which is welcome. But I think that we're maybe one or two short of the experience bracket. Again, even somebody on the bench to come off the bench and calm games down a wee bit. I know that Rory's been kind of tasked by that, but maybe somebody else that's able to come on and see things out.
Fair play, mate. Space Ghetto gets in touch. No heard for Space Ghetto on Twitter for a while.
Because she wasn't on Twitter.
Aye.
And now she's back because of us. Legend.
Love it. How good would Dackers be for learning to jump?
Colin Nash syndrome, man.
Aye. I thought he was actually right in there.
I honestly did think as well. I think that, as the point I've brought up earlier, is that you expect him to be like domineering and that there, whereas he's not. But I still think he won a few flack-ons.
Aye. And if it could get even better, it would be even better, of course. Alessandro Boscanero, who is many things, but Italian is not one of them. Goodwin was scathing of Killie in his post-match interview. Bad loser or honest assessment. I did see that's what talking about is playing long balls and Kamara are good at what they do. That's so passionate. Honestly, snidiest.
And as if Jim Goodwin's like
compliment.
Aye.
They're good at what they do. Not for me, but do you know what I mean?
That's what folks say about us.
Exactly. No, exactly. Aye, they're alright, they too. I mean, they're good at what they do, obviously, which means I hate them when they're shite. I thought he was a wee bit scathing, but he was obviously stings. He didn't there be a chance of getting out a quarter final.
He's got a hangover for Oasis, man.
Aye, need to, man.
Did you see that tweet about him? I thought that was a bit out of order, to be fair.
No, what was it?
Because he was spotted at Oasis and they get put out, obviously on penalties for Rapid Vienna on Thursday. And somebody tweeted, do you think Jim Goodwin should have spent more time preparing for the game on Thursday instead of pissed at Oasis?
That would have made a big difference, mate. If he was sitting in the house drinking tea, that would have made them score their penalties. Did Captain Congan get an ice bath after the match? Conch, you can let us know. And after the spew chat, ever seen anybody spew in the terraces? Polish guy in the east doing his best to live up to the stereotype. Somebody been sick in the game, is there? It's awful warm, wasn't it? You ever seen somebody been sick in the terraces?
I'm trying to think actually in the ground, man. Don't know.
No.
Seen a few players been white at the side of the park. Obviously Daniel's brought that up.
Remember the linesman,
that was a big one, aye. But no, don't know. Seemed like, I don't know, maybe a Scotland game that seems like
aye.
A pheasant hat. A bit too much to drink.
Aye. You see some sights of these Scotland games, don't you? I've had times where I've been going to a Scotland game.
Best fans in the world, mate.
You go and I've been getting the train up and there's casualties in Central at like 12 o'clock.
Aye, it's no good, man.
What a disgrace as a
really
nation.
horrible smell all the time that they kind of things as well.
Stale alcohol and regret.
Aye.
Kyle Mull gets in touch. Biblical, godlike, iconic, majestical and celestial. That's how I would describe Ben Brannan's pass. But how did you like Oasis?
Aye, that's a good one as well, innit? It was biblical, wasn't it?
It felt to me, I text Big Stevie about it. He was really upset. I was
rubbing it into him. I bumped into him in the gym and I had the playlist on and everything.
And it felt to me more than music. I don't want to overblow it, but it felt like a social thing. It was lovely.
Aye.
Really magic.
And as you said, you kind of touched on it in the Patreon, but completely different atmosphere to when you saw them beforehand.
Aye, the gigs were a wee bit.
It was great though. Like
everybody was happy.
Everybody, and I struggle to see any other band that could unite.
I know.
It
was class. Robert Gilchrist, should water be free in the ground? It's £2.80 for a cup of water. It's not a question, but how good is it seeing so many people wearing Killie kits? I agree. Ever since Hummel came on board, we've got more and more tops and people wearing them. I agree, mate. And I think somebody's replied saying
Graham Johnson, I think, was it?
Water is free, but you need to ask for tap water. They give you in a wee snidey cup.
Aye.
But £2.80 for water is ridiculous. But Got to make a buck.
It's like the Lemmy thing, remember, when he just starts pouring all the taps in his fist.
Aye, that's it. That's what I'm drinking now.
Aye.
Tastes like
Best of the best, and well, up and Irvine, isn't it?
best in the world.
Best. No.
Brian Gibson, on the rare occasion that there is a water break during the game, should the club be giving out free tap water to those who ask? 'Cause it was brutal in the East Stand yesterday.
That's a good point.
I like this, how we're like, we need water for everybody. It's the only hot day of the football for the last 7 years.
We should employ Bobby Boucher, man.
Bobby Boucher, the water boy.
Aye.
A bad job for me.
Would be. And then you'd end up playing left wing back for Killie.
Likely, aye. Aye, maybe that would have been an idea, but it's not really our forte, that type of thing. I don't think they had to hand out free water.
Where do you draw the line, mate, in the coldest days of the year? Everybody gets free tea and coffee.
That would be nice.
Would
Call
be
us a
nice.
little community club.
No, 100% get that. Particularly when the weather, it was like bad, like for some, never mind playing in that, you know what I mean? So I can 100% see that. I think that nobody should be deprived of water, but fact of the matter is that it's
Quite a bold statement for the podcast, that, mate.
Aye, I mean,
do you really? Have you thought about that?
I've thought about it, but the fact that it's free, well, Graham Johnson's rightly, but the fact's out there that you should be able to ask for it and get it for nothing, even if it does come in a Snyder Cup.
We're nailing our colours to the mast on that one.
What?
Nobody should be denied water.
They shouldn't be.
Right, I agree.
Particularly in the west of Scotland.
Aye, exactly. Right. Big Harper gets in touch. St Mirren in the Cup. How much money are the Saints going to need to get a psychologist to treat Donkey Donnelly after the shit he catches for the East Stand, mainly from me? Terrible.
When I bumped into Harper,
Terrible.
and it's good to see he's doing pretty well. Hopefully we'll win Karma soon. There's Stevie joined as well, so
that's it, man.
So
Roll up.
The pair of them should be training together. But he said that the first time he said, "I goes, what you got to do this year with it, Donnelly?" And he said even the guys that sit around about him are saying, "What you got to do?" He goes, "I'll still be shouting for him every week, man."
Aye, on his phone,
Aye.
following the St Mirren games. Andy gets in touch. Andy Carwrecker, hello mate. Thought we played well yesterday. Passing and movement wasn't perfect, but you can see Ketball is going to be entertaining. Have you heard Joey Barton's comments on the club? Is he still bitter after being made Greg Taylor's bitch? And big shout out to Sky Stout. Aye, well, you know, Joey Barton doing Joey Barton things, mate. Load of shite.
It's like the
An idiot.
conspiracy behind it is like unbelievable.
An idiot. Aye,
So he's no, for a start, differentiated between the Kilmarnock Football Club and Kilmarnock Women's, even though it's under the one banner. It's like two separate Twitter accounts anyway. And probably the person, I don't know for sure, that does the Kilmarnock Women's Twitter is probably a volunteer. So I don't see that being the end game, you know what I mean? So, but why we waste
Can I get annoyed at a dog for barking, mate? He is what he is.
He is what he is, man.
Just ignore him.
We should do a deep dive in the decline of him. Remember, like 10 years ago, he was on Question Time and that, and folk thought, oh, is he an intellectual football player?
And I get
And
exposed,
then,
didn't he?
Aye, and then I get really exposed that night.
Get exposed. Right, 2 to go. Taylor Day, delightful performance against the Arabs at Ayrshire Cafu. Brannan once again with a world-class cross for the Mancunian Duckman. Strikers, Dackers goal, and Mayo as well. The Mancunian Duckman. Yes! That is an incredible. I was going to go with Strawberry Daiquiri, but the Mancunian Duckman is the answer. Mayo as well, captain Lions goal since his return as a proud father.
Aye, absolutely.
And both defenders, absolute class assists. Spot on again, Taylor, mate. And they nicknames.
I love Taylor's messages, man.
Phenomenal, man.
What a boy.
The Mancunian Duckman, that's so good. But I congratulations to Brad Lyons, I know.
I remember, well, I congratulated them last week.
Oh, so you did I? Never mind then, mate, sorry.
Said that he brought more joy into the world.
Wee Theo.
Is it?
Aye, that's why he done that when he scored, they went
Tea? No, it's for the winter, free tea.
free tea for everybody's getting out of there early for
Nobody
December
should be
when it's
deprived
frozen.
of tea, man.
Free tea. And John Reid is the last message that we're going to read out, apart from Alan's gripe of the week. Bumped into Cal and his sister while walking the dogs in Dean Park on Saturday.
K Park, mate.
Was it the K Park? I'm in Jersey on holiday right now. I missed the game. Say that we have the budget for one more signing. What area needs strengthened and why?
So, firstly, pleasure to bump into John at the weekend. Really nice of him to introduce himself. Julie was pissing herself because we're walking and he goes, oh, I recognise that voice, and Julie thought it was somebody talking to her, and she goes, I listen to the podcast every week. I was legend, man. But so it was a pleasure, and I told him that Jersey was really good. That's where I was when St Mirren absolutely caned us 5-1, so right. I was able to avoid that. So he'll definitely have the weather there, man, so
happy days.
We'll enjoy it. But there's one position, it's so hard because you're like, you want a wee bit of X factor still, don't you? I think that we've got plenty of options, but I still think a wee bit of pace would be good. I still, with Tiffany been injured, Kennedy been maybe a wee bit away if we come back. I know Kennedy's no naturally like fleeing quick anyway. But I don't know. So, and maybe actually a winger, so that we can maybe change the system if we need to, because we've not really got any out and out wingers. Ken been definitely been injured.
Well, when they come back, then it changes the dynamics, doesn't it?
A winger, man, you've got to play him
kind
of centrally, even if it's
left
of centre.
I would go for another striker.
Aye,
Get a nice, well-known loan in.
who would be? Callum Hendry's just signed for Motherwell.
I've seen that. I've retained him. I liked him a lot. But I would go with a striker because I think Watkins will go.
I feel quite bad for Marley.
It's a shame I was petering out on it.
Hang me, but folk are saying, why did they get a 2-year deal? But we all know that the reason he signed a 2-year deal, McInnes wanted to keep him in. He wanted to get back down the road, but a 2-year deal in good money is that bit of security that he was after. So I don't grudge him, but it's not his fault. He's got offered a 2-year deal in Tenet, you know what I mean? So, but who knows, man? I'd love Marley to come back in and kind of prove I've the wrong, but maybe he's on his way out.
Still contributed well, didn't he?
Well, absolutely. Aye.
Right, okay.
Copenhagen, mate.
Well, there you go. Scored in Europe. Right, everybody, thank you sincerely for your messages of support to the podcast and obviously your questions. Keep the podcast going, and we're very happy to be answering them. And all your observations are most welcome. So please, you're more than welcome to message us personally or the page if there's anything you want to read out or any questions or anything you think we've not covered properly. Please do that. That's what keeps the podcast going.
It does. Now all roads lead to Killie. No.
Gripe of the week, mate.
Oh, of course, sorry.
Just you slow down.
Sorry,
You're
man.
desperate to get him.
Sorry, Alan.
Right, Alan Agnew gets in touch with his Gripe of the week. It's Alan's Gripe of the week. And he says, he's a bit late, but here we go. And I think this one's going to go down well. This will not split opinion. Well, seagulls. And I don't mean Brighton fans. Those horrible birds, rats with wings. They dive down on you like a World War II German bomber stealing anything. I hate them, and I would gladly shoot them all. These are urban gulls. Stupid people feeding them as well, and I'd shoot them too. I counted about 10 at Rugby Park looking for food, and someone's going to get hurt. Something must be done about it.
Well,
You had a solution to sign the Atletico Madrid Hawk.
Aye.
Maybe that's what we do with the budget.
I think so, but I tend to agree. They're particularly bad the last 10 years at Rugby Park. I think that's the evolution of the seagull though itself.
Right.
You know, notice that they're a lot bigger than they used to be.
They're huge.
They're huge, man.
They're huge. And see when you see an old school gull, and you see how wee they used to be.
Aye.
And now we were up the town earlier on, and they're huge.
Aye.
They're huge.
They're on the roids, man. Rick Steiner, man.
Well, they're literally eating doner kebabs and all that, and their wingspan, man. They're like pterodactyls.
But completely agree with Alan, and I think that particularly knee stand for folk as well. I think it's really bad.
Aye, they swoop.
Aye,
They swoop, man.
they do. But then they just kind of disappear in the next few weeks.
Aye, I mean, they're
And then everybody forgets about it and thinks it's all right, and then the problem then
Begins
commences
again in
kind of
May.
April, May next year,
Aye.
and it's just that never-ending cycle.
And here we are. So I don't know what to do about it, Alan.
Hawk, I told you.
The Hawks probably a good answer. We could fundraise.
Aye, I would say so.
Will we do that?
I would say so.
Right.
And aye, folk feeding them is
I know. Come on.
a nightmare as well.
Right. All roads lead to Killie.
All roads lead to
We also
Killie.
got the totals in for both Baz
Oh, aye.
and Sandy, who helped out massively with KillieCon. Sandy produced an actual physical Killie Hippo, which was amazing to see again. Very nostalgic for me. And that sold out. And obviously Baz did all the T-shirts. They've managed to raise, it's about £1,000 all in, I think.
Aye.
We'll definitely get the final total a bit for the food bank. Absolutely sensational. So a big hats off to the guys who are obviously very well known across the support for the incredible work they've done for the community and for the fans in general. But I'm delighted with that, man, so thank you so much. And we're trying to add a wee bit to that with this little game that we've devised, All Roads Lead to Killie. Taking it weeks about. We're coming up with a career path. Ex-Killie players have got to guess the player.
Aye. So again, just to echo your thoughts there. That's top class, and thanks to everybody that bought them as well. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? It was good. Baz and Sandy both organising and taking the time out to do that. So, but the fact that folk bought them and then continued to buy after KillieCon as well, because that was it, trying to get rid of the rest of the stock. And there's no more 10,000 left of the KillieCon.
That's it.
KillieCon Hippo. So, cheers again, lads. So, player one.
Okay, let's go, mate. Let's do this, man.
Ready,
I've got my
player
Killie
one?
Club Super Clubs book here.
And the usual, we'll come back to it. Ken, if you need a wee bit more help with era, etc.
Right, okay.
But we're going to start. Player one, Sunderland, Huddersfield, Darlington, Rochdale all on loan. Coventry, Wolves on loan, Hartlepool on loan, Kilmarnock, and then a few clubs after Killie. Sunderland, Huddersfield, Darlington, Rochdale, Coventry, Wolves, Hartlepool, Killie. You want the clubs after?
Aye, go give me the clubs after.
Club after Killie: Hearts, Rangers, Ayr United, Newton Shore.
Oh, right, okay.
He's quite a big personality again in Scottish football.
Left us to go to Rangers.
Hearts.
Left us to go to Hearts, then to Rangers. My goodness, alright. Oh, right, I think I know. Kevin Kyle.
Yes, it is Kevin Kyle. If there was one man outway Joe Wright, I would say he was better. Best I've ever seen in the air for Killie.
Aye.
Unbelievable.
Aye. And looks like he could fit an outside tap too.
It does.
Kevin Kyle, right.
Well done. Next one. Dundee, Heart of Midlothian, Celtic, Stoke, Grasshopper Club Zurich, Kilmarnock.
Tosh McKinley.
Well done getting that spot on, aye. See, I thought it was a difficult one.
McKinley.
Because he obviously predated me, and just because he was there for such a short period of time, but somebody that's really big in Scottish football and that, you almost forget.
The Grasshopper one, done it. Did I ever
it?
tell you about the time I got accosted by Rangers fans outside the garage?
No.
And Tosh McKinley was playing for us. And I was walking into the game, and so I'm like maybe 13 or 14. This bunch of Rangers fans who were like maybe 17 or 18, so I'm already terrified. Came up to me, alright, wee man, you got to the game and all that. And they were like, oh, you're like, oh, he's whatever. And they went, who's your favourite Killie player, wee man? And I didn't even think of the ramifications of saying Tosh McKinley, right? Who'd obviously played for Celtic really recently. And the team was littered with ex-Rangers players. I just said Tosh McKinley, I don't know where it came from. And they're like, oh, yeah, wee white and all that. I was like, yeah, fuck. I know you use the phrase.
They called you worse than a way though.
They did.
Aye.
But aye, Tosh McKinley, so there we go. You nearly get me done in, Tosh, but well done at Grasshoppers.
Aye, well done. It was a weird one though, his kind of career. Like,
Very good player.
Aye.
Very
But what
cultured
happened at
left back.
Killie? Did they just retire out in
Just a shite season, wasn't it? 99 in the JJB. That just didn't work.
Nah.
Must have been spending some money then, man. You think about it.
Aye.
Durant, McCoy, Cocard, Tosh McKinley up.
Andy Smith.
Few Bob in that team, man. Aye.
Aye. So, next player, final player that we've got, Nonce in France. Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Nuremberg, Montpellier, Kilmarnock, and then I'll give you their ones if you need it. You want the ones after Killie? Or do you want me to give you the era? So Nonce, Nuremberg, Montpellier. Which I didn't realise that was the lively club that he was at before he signed for us.
Right, okay. Give me the after.
Hearts, which is maybe the giveaway because the other one is Sivasspor or something like that, and Azal. You want me to give you the era? And we've already mentioned them.
Medi?
Aye, Medi.
Is it Medi too?
Aye, didn't realise it. He
That's
played with
quite a good standard,
Nuremberg and Montpellier. And
there you
Nonce
go.
as well. So
Anyway, 3 for 3.
Aye.
Well done, mate.
Aye.
Do you want to very quickly do the about Kilmarnock quiz for the book?
Oh, you're going to expose me here, man.
No, I'll be fine.
Right.
Right, you ready? Very quickly before we wrap it up. When did defender Gus McPherson join Kilmarnock? A, 1991, B, 92 or C, 1990?
91.
Correct. What forced Neil Whitworth to miss most of last season?
The birth of his child.
It was tuberculosis.
Oh,
Which
just
English...
with the topical conversations in the forums there, that was a nod to that.
it was a bit strange, wasn't it? Which English club did Ray Montgomery play for?
Newcastle.
Well done. Where was Gary Tallon born?
Irvine.
It's 5B. Oh no, 4 is B. He was born in Drogheda in Ireland.
Right.
Where was Colin McKee signed from?
Man United.
How many full caps has Ian Durant had for Scotland?
What, as a
It
Killie
says-
player?
That was just in 1998 in it, so 12, 11 or 10.
10 at that point, maybe?
It was 11.
Oh, was it?
Who scored the goal that won the Scottish Cup final for Killie?
Oh, no, I don't know this one. Paul Wright.
And what minute was the goal scored in?
It's a tough one. I would guess, 31 or?
Says the 21st minute here.
Is it? Aye.
What was the final nicknamed by the press?
The what?
What was the final nicknamed by the press?
Oh, like the Family Cup final or something like
The
that.
friendly final.
Aye.
And which English club has Dylan Kerr not played for? Leeds, Sheffield Wednesday or Everton?
Everton.
Well done.
Oh, take that.
Not too bad, mate.
Isn't it too bad? Would you have got the minute Paul Wright scored on? But it's weird
I'd
because
have
somebody
went
asked me
20th,
about
I'd have guessed at 20th.
DVT. I would say 83
Oh, would
immediately.
you?
You know what I mean? So
Aye, well, there you go.
well, it was actually about 84, but it was 82 in the quarter.
Right, anything else you want to say before we go home?
A lot of things I want to say, but none for the camera.
No. All right. Right, everybody, that'll just about do us. So we'll be back next week with some more Killie chat, hopefully with some points in the bag. Home to, give your prediction, Dundee. What are you going for?
2-0 Killie.
2-0 Killie.
I like a clean sheet.
Goal scorers?
Dackers
And
Polworth.
there we go. Lovely stuff. I would take that. I think we'll win and all. So we'll be back to review that and look ahead to the game after, which is Motherwell away.
Motherwell away,
on the 30th. So again, maybe a chance to pick up some points. A wee 4-point haul for that would be lovely, wouldn't it?
That'd be great, aye.
Be really good. But anyway, we'll get to all of that in plenty of time. So thank you once again for listening or watching, whatever you're doing. Appreciate all the support and all the nice messages. And
Always say for YouTube to like and subscribe.
like and subscribe, of
You
course.
should do it into the camera.
Please like and subscribe. Right, thanks for being there for us.
Aye, we really appreciate it.
Alright, catch you later, everybody. Bye.